Welcome to this tech news update on the Windows channel. This is Monday, January 18, 2016. Today in our news, Microsoft is not going to offer support for older Windows versions on new hardware. They've announced that if you buy new computers, if you buy new hardware with the Skylake processors, for example, well, don't expect to have any support for Windows 7 or Windows 8.1. Microsoft has said that from now on, all new hardware will be only Windows 10 compatible, and that's it. Then, once again, that's another effort for Microsoft to say, look, it's time to move on to Windows 10. It is a little pushy, I have to say, but you know what? I personally, if I buy a new computer with new hardware, I don't even understand why you would want to install an old operating system like Windows 7. I think being stubborn and wanting to stay to Windows 7 might be more of a problem than anything else, because I really think Windows 10 is worth it. It's compatible with the majority of stuff from Windows 7, so why not move ahead? Yet, of course, I understand that there are some exceptions. There are some software and hardware that could be only Windows 7 compatible. That is possible, but from now on, I think that's going to be the key thing about Windows being only compatible with new stuff. I think that could be even, probably worse for business, because businesses will go a little more crazy about the fact that with new hardware, they buy new computers, they'll have to get Windows 10. Is going to be the only operating system that works. So that's going to be interesting to see. HoloLens, we've had some news today about battery life for HoloLens. In heavy use, 2.5 hours. In regular use, 5.5 hours maximum. A lot of people are saying, well, that's not a lot of power. Especially, imagine a gamer that wants to play for all evening with his favorite game in HoloLens. 2.5 hours is kind of a little small, but then again, it has to do a lot with, of course, the technology itself, but it has to do a lot with the batteries. We're still stuck with lithium ion and stuff like that. I think we really, really need to find some new way of creating power with batteries that are much more interesting and efficient. And this is the first generation HoloLens. Also, you got to think about that as we get into newer and newer versions of HoloLens. I think that's going to be better and better all the time. So we'll see as time goes by. Now, it's not official, but a lot of people think Microsoft is working on a Windows 10 desktop version for ARM processors. I think that would be cool, having maybe a ARM processor version so you can buy really cheap stuff with Windows 10 on it. Then again, the problem I see here with that is a little bit like Surface RT. People that bought Surface RT tablets said, oh, it's cool, this is a Windows tablet. People didn't understand that Windows RT tablets did not have a regular Windows on it, and that it was incompatible with most of what everybody's doing on it. So, and I do still get a lot of people saying, hey, I can't do what you're saying in your videos. I've got a Surface RT, and I have to reply back, well, the reason is Surface RT is not compatible with Windows 10 or Windows 8. Sorry, it was Windows 8 back on the Surface RT. So you can't do what I just showed on my video. And so that's probably the scary thing. And I hope that there's um, a clear understanding of that, which is always a problem basically. But I still think that could be cool. And if you have a lot of more and more universal apps in the store that will be compatible across platforms, that's going to be pretty cool, I think. So we'll see as time goes by. But this is mostly a rumor right now. There's nothing official about it for now. And other bits of news, we have Windows 10 satisfaction survey. IDC research says that in the United States, Windows 10 users are satisfied or really happy for the majority with Windows 10. And that's good news because one of the things that probably will be the most important here to get Windows 10 where Microsoft wants all the numbers and all the computers running it is satisfaction. The more people are happy with it, the more chances people will also want to upgrade to Windows 10. And that's pretty nice because it's a clear change from the Windows 8.1 or 8 that everybody hated. Satisfaction was not that great. The funny thing here, I loved Windows 8. I really liked Windows 8. And for a touch tablet or a touch computer, Windows 8 is actually pretty good. But, people don't necessarily understand everything the way it should be meant to do. And it was kind of a shock, all the changes, that's for sure. Twitter is being sued because they say that they are not, they're kind of helping ISIS have their propaganda across the platform. And this is delicate. It has to do with a lot of things at the same time. It has to do with free speech, where I think we have to be very, very careful. Of course, I don't want to see ISIS, ISIS crap propaganda on the web, and I think that group, needs to be banned. The problem is we have to be careful because the internet is a free speech tool, and where we stop, where do we stop propaganda? Where do we stop? What is the criteria needed to stop from somebody from being able to say what he wants and what he thinks? I think here we have to be very, very careful and see, maybe make even guidelines to make sure that we don't also ban anybody that just wants to say what's in his mind. And one of the things why I think probably Twitter is a big problem here, for a long time Twitter has been kind of bad at helping people. Some Twitter accounts have bullies that can't stop. They continue bashing the Twitter account and saying all the crap that they want. And Twitter has been slow at fixing that, if fixing it at all. And I think maybe the problem here is when something happens like Twitter propaganda, they've kind of been really, really bad at simply removing accounts when something is really, really wrong and they shouldn't be there. And probably the biggest problem of Twitter is that, being slow at removing stuff that shouldn't be there. So that's one of the biggest problems of Twitter, and it still is today. They're faster than they were in the past, but they're still slow. So we'll see how that goes. But remember, even if somebody says something you don't like, free speech is important. So that was the tech news for Monday, January 18, 2016. If you enjoy our videos, why not subscribe? You'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us thumbs up, helps us on YouTube. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or maybe a video about a feature you'd like to see, let us know. We'll try to post that video online, and we'll try to help you. And don't forget, every Tuesdays, 3 to 5 p.m., we have our live show where we answer your questions about technology. That's 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern, 2200 hours Universal Time. And we also have from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 23 to 0000 hours UTC, our show Learn the Tech, where we talk about a subject. And this week's subject for January 19th will be computer security. How to stay safe with all your devices, computers, mobile, and whatsoever. Thank you so much for following us, and I hope that you enjoy our little news bulletins and our videos.